She was just a girl who loved exploring the most beautiful places, until one unexpected encounter on a remote mountain changed her life forever. A stranger appeared, yet somehow it felt like they had known each other for years. What happened that evening in a quiet hotel and during a storm in the mountains will leave you breathless. Stay with me because this story of love, destiny, and unforgettable moments will touch your heart in ways you never imagined. Before we dive into the incredible story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you never miss our powerful, life-changing content. Morning light touched the mountains. Like soft gold poured over silent stone, fresh wind carried the scent of pine trees, wild flowers, and distant rivers. I stood at the edge of the valley, breathing slowly, feeling peace move through my heart. Travel always felt like freedom to me. Beautiful roads, quiet forests, hidden lakes, places where the soul feels lighter. That afternoon, I reached a place so breathtaking that my heart paused. Crystal water moved gently over smooth white rocks. Birds crossed the wide blue sky, and sunlight danced on the lake like thousands of tiny stars. Then, someone stood beside me, a man, tall, calm, eyes deep like evening skies. For one strange moment, my heart felt a sudden shock. Warm, unexpected, familiar. His smile appeared slowly, as if he already knew my story. We spoke. Simple words, soft laughter, shared silence between sentences. Time moved differently around us, like two travelers who spent years walking separate roads and finally arrived at the same horizon. Evening arrived with golden light. The same hotel welcomed both of us. Wooden walls, warm lamps, quiet music floating through the air. Dinner happened naturally. A small table, 2 cups of tea, soft candlelight dancing between us. Every word carried kindness. Every pause carried understanding. He spoke about distant valleys, long journeys, hard years that shaped patience and strength. Pain existed in his past, yet compassion lived stronger inside him. I listened, heart opening slowly, like a flower turning toward sunlight. Outside the window, the mountains rested under silver moonlight. Inside my chest, a quiet realization grew. This meeting held meaning, not coincidence, not chance, a gentle force guiding 2 wandering souls. His hand touched mine, warm, steady, sincere. The world around us softened. Every fear from the past slowly faded. 2 strangers, standing on the edge of a new life. 2 hearts learning the language of trust. Under the quiet witness of mountains, rivers, and endless skies. Morning arrived again, light spreading across the valley, and our journey together continued, step by step, through love, through patience, through shared dreams, walking toward horizons still waiting to reveal their secrets. Morning light slowly filled the valley, soft mist floating above the lake, like a quiet dream that refused to leave. I stood on the wooden balcony, holding a warm cup of coffee, watching sunlight wake the mountains. Footsteps approached behind me, calm, steady, familiar already. He stood beside me again, eyes full of quiet warmth, as if the morning itself brought him there. For a moment, no words existed, only wind through the trees, soft water touching the shore, and 2 hearts learning a new rhythm. His voice finally broke the silence, gentle, honest. He spoke about journeys across the country, long dusty roads, endless valleys, and the search for places where the soul feels alive. I listened carefully, feeling every word settle inside me. Pain lived somewhere in his past, yet kindness lived stronger. That strength touched something deep inside my chest. We walked together toward the lake. Grass carried drops of fresh morning dew, cold against our feet, the air rich with the scent of earth and pine. A sudden memory flashed inside my mind. A strange feeling of recognition, like a forgotten chapter of life opening again. My heart skipped. Shock moved through me quietly. How could a stranger feel so familiar? As if time itself already knew our story. He looked at me, long, thoughtful, as if he felt the same unspoken mystery. A small wooden boat rested near the shore. The lake reflected the sky perfectly, blue stretching into blue, with mountains standing like silent guardians. We stepped into the boat slowly. Water moved gently beneath us, soft ripples spreading outward. The world around us grew quiet, only the sound of the oars touching water, and the distant call of birds across the valley. Every moment carried tenderness. Every glance carried understanding. Something powerful continued growing between us. Patient, deep, inevitable. As the boat moved toward the center of the lake, a sudden breeze crossed the water. Cool, sharp, awakening every sense. My heart felt another wave of surprise, a realization slowly rising, stronger with every passing second. As our eyes met again, and the story of our lives continued unfolding, across the endless water, under the wide open sky, where destiny quietly guided our path forward. The breeze grew softer, yet something powerful moved inside my chest. The boat drifted slowly, carried by gentle waves, while sunlight danced across the water. For a long moment, we simply watched the horizon. Mountains stood tall around the lake, ancient, patient, guarding every secret this place held. He rested the oars beside him, and silence wrapped around us again. His eyes studied the distance, yet something in his expression changed. Quiet weight, a memory perhaps, something deeper than words. My heart felt it immediately. Curiosity rose inside me, mixed with a strange tenderness. I asked him about the road that brought him here. His voice returned slowly, steady, honest. He spoke about years of wandering, about places filled with beauty, and also moments filled with hardship. There were days of loneliness, long nights beneath unfamiliar skies, roads where hope felt distant, yet kindness from strangers. Small acts of compassion, simple human warmth, carried him forward again and again. Each story touched me deeply. I felt the sincerity in every word, the strength built through quiet suffering. The lake breeze brushed across my face, cool and refreshing, yet my heart felt warm. Suddenly he paused. His gaze shifted toward me, intense, thoughtful. A moment of stillness passed between us. Then he said something, so unexpected, so direct, that my breath caught for a second. He told me that the moment he saw me, standing near the rocks yesterday, his heart felt an immediate calm, like a traveler finally reaching home. After years of searching, the words created a sudden rush inside me, a gentle shock, beautiful, overwhelming. I felt the same strange truth, growing stronger with every second beside him. The boat slowly reached the middle of the lake. Water surrounded us endlessly, clear reflections of sky and mountains moving softly. The world seemed far away. Only two people, two journeys, meeting at one quiet point in time. He reached for the oars again, guiding the boat toward a small hidden shore, covered with tall grass and wild flowers. The place looked untouched, like a secret corner of the earth. As the boat touched land, our feet stepped onto the soft ground, and a new part of our journey slowly began, while the wind carried distant sounds through the valley, and the path ahead opened deeper into the mountains, where more moments waited to shape our story together. The grass brushed softly against our legs as we stepped further onto the quiet shore. Wild flowers covered the ground, colors spreading like a gentle painting. Across the valley floor, the air carried the sweet scent of nature, fresh, pure, alive. For a moment, I closed my eyes, letting the calmness settle deep inside me. When I opened them again, he stood a few steps ahead, watching the mountains with thoughtful silence. Sunlight rested on his shoulders, and the breeze moved slowly through his hair. Everything around us felt peaceful, yet something deeper stirred beneath the quiet, a strange pull, almost invisible, guiding both of us forward. We began walking along a narrow trail. The path curved through tall trees, their branches forming a soft green roof above us. Birdsong echoed gently through the forest, while sunlight slipped through the leaves, painting golden patterns on the ground. Every step beside him felt natural, like walking with someone my heart already trusted. He spoke about small moments in life, simple joys, unexpected friendships, the quiet strength that kindness creates between people. His words carried wisdom, the kind born from long roads and patient reflection. I listened carefully, feeling respect grow stronger inside me. Then suddenly, the trail opened. Before us stretched a breathtaking cliff, overlooking the endless valley below. Wind moved stronger here, cool and powerful, lifting strands of my hair across my face. The view stole my breath. Rivers curled like silver ribbons through the land. Forests rolled endlessly toward distant hills, and clouds drifted slowly above the wide horizon. I stepped closer to the edge, heart racing with excitement and wonder. The ground beneath my feet felt solid, yet the height created a thrilling tension inside me. For a brief second, a wave of discomfort crossed my chest, a reminder of how fragile every moment can be. He noticed my hesitation immediately. His hand reached gently toward mine. Steady, warm, reassuring. The simple touch carried quiet strength. Together we stood at the edge of the world, two souls watching the vast beauty of life spread before us. The wind grew stronger, moving across the valley with a deep rushing sound. Something inside me shifted again, a feeling of destiny slowly revealing another layer. He looked toward a distant mountain path, a narrow trail climbing higher into the wild landscape. Adventure waited there. Mystery, unknown stories hidden beyond the ridges. Without speaking, we both understood the same thought. Our journey together had only begun, and the road ahead continued rising toward places where the heart learns even deeper truths about love, trust, and the quiet power that brings two lives together under the same endless sky. The mountain path called to us, quiet, patient, waiting. We followed the narrow trail, leaves crunching softly beneath our steps. Wind moved through the tall pines, creating a deep whisper, like the mountains sharing ancient stories. The climb grew steeper, my breathing slowed, my heart beating stronger with every step. Yet a strange excitement filled me. Adventure always lived somewhere in my soul. The journey felt even more alive. Sunlight filtered through the branches, touching the forest floor in scattered beams of gold. Then suddenly, the sky darkened for a moment. Clouds gathered slowly above the peaks. A cold breeze brushed across my face. Sharp, unexpected. The air changed. A quiet tension moved through the valley. Thunder murmured far in the distance. We looked at each other, surprised, yet calm. The mountain weather shifted quickly. Wild, unpredictable. Rain began falling gently at first, tiny silver drops touching the earth. The forest awakened with sound. Leaves rustled, water tapped against branches, and the scent of fresh rain filled the air. We hurried toward a small wooden shelter, hidden beside the trail. Inside the old structure, the sound of rain surrounded us, soft yet powerful. Water streamed from the roof edges, forming tiny rivers in the dirt below. For a moment, we simply stood there, breathing the cool air. Then lightning flashed across the sky, bright, sudden, illuminating the mountains outside. The thunder followed seconds later, deep and rolling through the valley. My heart jumped slightly, a quick wave of shock moving through my chest. He noticed immediately. His voice stayed calm, steady like the mountains themselves. He spoke about storms, how they arrive suddenly, shake the quiet world, then leave everything stronger and renewed. The words carried meaning beyond the weather. Rain continued falling harder now, drumming on the wooden roof above us. The forest outside turned misty, beautiful, mysterious. A powerful feeling grew inside me again. Life sometimes brings two strangers together, in the middle of unexpected storms, moments that test courage, patience, trust. He stepped closer, his presence warm in the cool air. Our eyes met again, longer this time, deeper. Outside, lightning flashed once more, and beside him, the journey felt even more alive. Sunlight filtered through the branches, touching the forest floor in scattered beams of gold. Then suddenly, the sky darkened for a moment. Clouds gathered slowly above the peaks. A cold breeze brushed across my face. Sharp, unexpected. The air changed. A quiet tension moved through the valley. Thunder murmured far in the distance. We looked at each other, surprised, yet calm. The mountain weather shifted quickly. Wild, unpredictable. Rain began falling gently at first, tiny silver drops touching the earth. The forest awakened with sound. Leaves rustled, water tapped against branches, and the scent of fresh rain filled the air. We hurried toward a small wooden shelter, hidden beside the trail. Inside the old structure, the sound of rain surrounded us, soft yet powerful. Water streamed from the roof edges, forming tiny rivers in the dirt below. For a moment, we simply stood there, breathing the cool air. Then lightning flashed across the sky, bright, sudden, illuminating the mountains outside. The thunder followed seconds later, deep and rolling through the valley. My heart jumped slightly, a quick wave of shock moving through my chest. He noticed immediately. His voice stayed calm, steady like the mountains themselves. He spoke about storms, how they arrive suddenly, shake the quiet world, then leave everything stronger and renewed. The words carried meaning beyond the weather. Rain continued falling harder now, drumming on the wooden roof above us. The forest outside turned misty, beautiful, mysterious. A powerful feeling grew inside me again. Life sometimes brings two strangers together, in the middle of unexpected storms, moments that test courage, patience, trust. He stepped closer, his presence warm in the cool air. Our eyes met again, longer this time, deeper. Outside, lightning flashed once more, lighting the valley like a brief sunrise. Inside the shelter, the quiet space between us changed. A new chapter of our journey slowly unfolded, while the storm continued moving across the mountains, and the road ahead waited beyond the rain, leading us further into the unknown beauty of the wilderness, where destiny still held many surprises for our hearts to discover. Rain softened slowly, each drop falling lighter than before. The storm drifted deeper into the mountains, leaving behind a fresh quietness. Mist floated between the trees, thin silver threads moving gently through the forest. We stepped outside the shelter. The earth smelled rich and alive. Wet soil, pine leaves, wild grass breathing after the rain. The trail glistened under soft light, small pools of water reflecting the sky. For a moment, we stood there, watching the valley wake again. Sunlight pushed through the clouds, spreading warm gold across the distant hills. The storm felt like a passing test, a sudden interruption in the calm rhythm of our journey. Yet something about that moment, standing close in the shelter, changed the air between us. Our steps grew slower as we continued walking. Silence followed us again, comfortable, gentle, full of unspoken understanding. The path curved around a ridge, then opened into a wide meadow. Tall grass moved with the wind, waves rolling softly across the green field. At the center stood an old wooden bridge, stretching across a narrow river. Water rushed beneath it, clear, fast, sparkling with reflected sunlight. I stepped onto the bridge carefully. The wooden boards creaked beneath my feet, each sound echoing across the quiet valley. Halfway across, I paused. A sudden feeling moved through me again, stronger than before. A strange awareness, as if this exact moment carried meaning far beyond a simple walk. The river roared below, powerful, restless. Wind rushed through the open space, cool against my skin. For a brief second, the height, the rushing water, the endless valley around us, created a small wave of discomfort inside my chest. My hands gripped the railing. He noticed immediately. His steps came closer behind me, slow, careful, reassuring. His voice spoke gently, calm like the quiet after a storm. He told me that life often places people at bridges, moments where fear meets courage, where uncertainty meets trust. His words settled deep inside me. I breathed slowly, watching the river continue its endless journey. Then I felt his hand rest softly beside mine on the railing, warm, steady, full of quiet strength. The world around us felt larger suddenly, as if the valley itself listened to our silent understanding. Clouds drifted above the mountains again, shadows moving across the distant land. Ahead of us, the trail continued past the bridge, climbing toward another forested ridge. Something waited beyond that path, another chapter, another moment ready to shape our growing story. And together we stepped forward again, toward the rising trail, toward the unknown road that continued unfolding before us. Through valleys, through mountains, through every quiet heartbeat of the journey still ahead. We stepped off the bridge, and the trail began rising again. Tall grass slowly gave way to dense forest, where towering trees formed a quiet cathedral of green. Light filtered through the branches, soft beams drifting through the cool air. The sound of the river faded behind us, replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant call of birds hidden deep in the woods. Our steps stayed steady, yet something about the forest felt different, deeper, older, as if every tree had witnessed countless stories before ours. The path narrowed, twisting between moss-covered rocks, and roots stretching across the earth like silent veins. I brushed my fingers along the bark of a tall pine, feeling the rough texture beneath my skin. Nature always spoke in quiet ways, through wind, through scent, through small details easily missed. Then suddenly, a strange sound reached my ears, a faint crack of branches somewhere ahead. My heart skipped once. Not fear, yet a brief moment of alertness. The forest stood still around us. Even the wind seemed to pause. He stopped beside me, eyes scanning the trees carefully. For a few seconds, only silence existed. Then the bushes ahead moved gently. From the shadows, a young deer stepped into the trail, graceful, delicate, its eyes wide and curious. The animal paused, watching us without fear. Sunlight slipped through the leaves above, touching its soft brown coat. I felt my breath slow again. The tension faded, replaced by quiet wonder. Life moved everywhere in these mountains. Wild, free, beautiful. The deer turned slowly, then disappeared back into the forest, leaving the path empty once more. We exchanged a small smile. Moments like that carried a simple magic, reminding us how alive the world truly felt. Our journey continued deeper into the woods. The air grew cooler, the scent of damp moss stronger. Soon the trees began thinning again. Through the branches, I noticed something unusual ahead. A structure, old, weathered, standing alone between the trees. Curiosity sparked inside me. We approached slowly. An abandoned cabin revealed itself, wood faded by years of wind and rain, windows reflecting the pale afternoon light. The door stood slightly open, moving gently with the breeze. For a moment, I felt another quiet shock ripple through my chest. Not fear, yet a mysterious pull, as if this forgotten place held a piece of the story waiting for us. He looked toward the doorway, then back at me. Neither of us spoke. The wind pushed the door again, creating a soft creaking sound that echoed through the forest. Step by step, we moved closer to the cabin, toward whatever memories, or discoveries, rested quietly inside its shadowed walls, while the forest watched patiently, and our unfolding journey continued deeper into the unknown path ahead. Golden evening light rested gently on the old cabin, soft and warm, like the final page of a long journey. We stepped inside slowly. Dust floated in the quiet air, tiny particles shining in the sunset. The room felt simple. Wooden walls, a small table, two old chairs near a window that faced the valley. Time seemed to pause there. Through the window, the mountains stretched endlessly, rivers glowing under the fading sun. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Every step of our journey returned to my mind. The lake, the storm, the bridge, the silent forest, every moment slowly weaving two lives together. I turned toward him. His eyes carried the same calm understanding, the same quiet warmth that had followed us from the very first meeting. Then a gentle realization settled inside my heart. Life often sends people on long roads, through beauty, through storms, through moments of doubt and surprise. Yet along those roads, something precious waits. Kindness, understanding, a soul that recognizes another soul. He reached for my hand again, steady, sincere, full of quiet promise. Outside, the sun slowly touched the edge of the mountains, painting the sky with deep orange and soft gold. I understood something important in that peaceful moment. Love rarely arrives with noise or grand drama. Real love appears quietly, during simple walks, shared storms, unexpected meetings between two travelers. It grows through patience, through respect, through hearts willing to understand the pain of another. The world outside continued moving, winds across valleys, rivers flowing toward distant seas, and our lives continued forward as well, side by side, choosing every day to walk with kindness, to listen with sincerity, to share joy and hardship together, because the greatest journeys in life never depend on the destination, they depend on the heart that walks beside you. And the simple lesson that every person can carry into their own story: when two people choose compassion, honesty, and understanding, love becomes the path, the strength, and the light that guides them through every mountain, every storm, and every beautiful horizon still waiting ahead.